All right, hello everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 398, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can check out our trophy list on the PlayStation Network. I'm Anchorless_81, and Jake is JakeSaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with friends, and don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform, but for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail plus a shout-out on our show. Most times, you also get the show a day or two early. Visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to support us. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe to any of the crap we post on YouTube, including me teabagging my enemies in Battlefield 6. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I was laughing because I just saw I don't know, maybe this is a thing that people have seen, but a Halloween costume that was It was a one guy in a costume, but the costume was Macho Man Randy Savage carrying a porta potty with Hulk Hogan in it.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like one of those things where like the guy's legs are the legs of Macho Man, and like the upper body of Macho Man is like a stuffed thing, and then like his torso is in the porta john as Hulk Hogan. It's just, I don't know. It was just, I thought that was pretty funny. But no, I don't know. I'm surviving. It's been a rough couple of days, but nothing I really feel like getting into. But it's just, 'tis the season, I suppose, for the Halloween stuff. I'll be honest with you. Like, I've been so busy and just preoccupied that I'm not even haven't really even been paying attention to like the fall stuff, the Halloween season and all that kind of crap. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Yeah. And now like Halloween is in like 3 days or some shit, 4 days.
Yeah.
And, I wouldn't have even thought about it. Now, maybe if like I, had friends that did like Halloween parties and shit like that, I might be a little bit more like in tune with it, but, I don't know. I did go to I went to a wedding on Saturday that was a coworker's wedding. And I don't know if you've ever been to like the wedding of a like coworker or something, or like a function that's outside of work, that's
more
like
of like an acquaintance, somebody that you just kind of know.
Yeah, where it's just like I'm like sitting at a table, like I'm at this wedding and I'm plenty happy to be there, but I'm like sitting at a table with all of these people from work, and it's just like kind of weird. It's a little bit weird. Like my boss is there, and his
you don't know really how to act, right?
Yeah, I mean it was fine. We didn't stay that long, but I mean we were there for I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 hours, because it was just by the time of the ceremony and all the fucking cocktail hour and dinner and all the whatever. But it was at this old Boy Scout camp that was purchased by the YMCA down in like Cranberry, PA. And it was pretty fucking cool. Like I was thinking about, our wedding and how everything went, and by that I mean me and Sarah, not me and you. And how it was like, we had this place that we were at and everybody had to drive to it, and then everybody had to get themselves home or do the hotel or whatever. And this place is like a camp, like an actual like Boy Scout camp. It has this big like mess hall that they can do all of the dinner and dancing and all that kind of shit in there. And then outside there's like these big fire pits. There's this big pavilion for doing the ceremony. There's like a climbing tower and a rope bridge and this creek. There's 10 cabins on site that sleep up to 80 people in beds. And it's when you rent it, you get access to all of it. So like if you were like, I was talking, and now granted it wasn't like the cheapest place, but it wasn't that much more expensive than what we did. And it was like I was thinking about it, I was like, well, if I were to ever have to do it again, heaven forbid I ever have to do it again, but if I were to ever have to do it again, this would be like the way to go. You just rent this fucking place out, just have everyone stay there.
Yeah.
Everyone has cabin and shit. And it's like, and it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So like, I don't know if you're into the outdoors and stuff. It's pretty fucking cool. They had this huge fire pit with these big wooden swings around it, and we didn't stay late enough for any of that kind of stuff. I mean, it was still a little bit light out when we left. I think we left at like 6:30. But the only downside was that it was like an hour and a half drive for us to get there. Because it was like on the other side of Franklin, like 20 minutes past Franklin. And then Franklin's already like an hour drive for us. So, but yeah, that was kind of interesting. We did some family stuff yesterday and everything. But like, I don't know, man. I don't really have anything else to say. It was a thing. It was a weekend. It was a week, I suppose. I don't even know. How about you?
I don't even really know either. Like you said, Halloween's just creeping up. It's one of my favorite holidays, but I got no plans this Halloween. Usually I do the Michael Myers thing. I haven't bought any candy. It's just I'm in a whole different place in my world right now. But I don't know. I just haven't prepped for it. Got some shows coming up. We shut the lights off.
Yeah. We shut the lights off on Halloween. Just because we're in such a... Like, you're in an area where you could get a bunch of kids and stuff.
Yeah.
We're like when we were in Meadville, we loved doing it because you see all the little kids in costumes and everything, and it's pretty cute. But, like, where we're at, it's like you might get, like, 2 or 3 kids or something, and it's like, is it worth it? And then you, like, don't want them to
like
think,
my parents, like...
Yeah, like why even bother giving people the option? It's like you got to drive to my house if you want candy.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like it this time of year. But like we said last episode, the cold just came out of nowhere. It just hit like a brick wall. We did play some Hero Quest. That was fun. I told you guys about the Barbarian last time dying, and I think I killed the Knight this past time. That was kind of nice. This campaign that we're playing is called The Frozen Horror, and it is arguably the most difficult campaign for Hero Quest. And we've been having a blast. I'm glad I've been able to keep the group together. I've been slacking on my miniature painting lately, but we also Hasbro just announced they're releasing Wizards of Morcar. Wizards of Morcar was like the last expansion in the EU that no one in stateside actually got the actual copy. So they've reimagined it. The original additional quest book was 5 quests. It sounds like someone's riding a dirt bike through my backyard. And they've made an additional 5 quests. So it's a 10 quest booklet and it's a $50 expansion, but it looks awesome. So I got that on pre-order. That's kind of fun. What else, man? There's really not a whole lot. I've just kind of been grinding on the game I've been playing, So I downloaded this sick Arc Raiders high def desktop background for my Mac here, and it looks awesome. Everything about Arc Raiders, again, not to beat a dead horse, just the aesthetic and everything about it, man, is so clean and good. I don't know. That game drops on the 30th, so I'm kind of excited. I don't know if I'm going to get it right off the jump, but I might. I just don't know I'm going to find the time to play it, but I do enjoy it. So I guess with that being said, one of my land has 2 concerts. I mentioned it earlier. We're playing on the 1st in a small town called Oil City. It's where they actually... close to where they discovered oil. Titusville, Pennsylvania is where oil was discovered. But it's close there. And we're playing at this library on the 1st, which is the day after Halloween. It's a Saturday. So it's this Saturday. This is One of My Land, my punk rock group. And we've got a nice set lined up. And what's cool about this place is I mean, most bands probably would like scoff or laugh at this, but like, I think it's dope, dude. I remember being like 14 and going to my first concert and just being so influenced and so, it's in your formative years where like you just, things leave an impression. And if I were 14 and had a chance to see One Up by Land, I would be there. And preferably not even know who they are and just stumble into a show and see that and be like, wow, this is fucking rad. So this library is this whole project they're doing in Oil City. I think the library was sold. I think that it was owned by the city, and then now it's privately owned. And they have these different groups trying to fund the renovation for it. And the first time we played there, it's all ages. It was the auditorium was nice. They have a nice auditorium upstairs and an elevator that goes up there, and it was nice. But it was packed, dude. Like I swear, like every kid in the Oil City, Franklin area was at that concert. It was awesome. And these are people who just don't have the ability to go to like punk shows because they're all 21 plus anywhere in this area. You know, local bands are playing. So it was just electric, man. And kids were just having a blast. And it was so nice to see. You know, even like 18, 19-year-old kids. It was cool, dude. And we're doing that again on this Saturday. We're going back. They've raised enough money. They've put some time and effort into the place. I'm excited to go back and see it and see the progress they've made. So that'll be fun. That's the 1st, November 1st. And then the 15th, we're going to be playing this thing outdoors at the Riverside Brewing Company in Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania. And it's like this show with like these cover bands. The headliner is like an emo band. I don't mean to say it in a disparaging way at all, but the headliner is like an emo cover band. And we were kind of sold the idea of opening for this emo band that would have all these people from that scene that are adults now that would probably love what we do. And they were going to pay us. We're like, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, well, we need you to play an hour. And I'm just thinking, fuck, dude, like an hour. One Up by Land playing an hour is like almost unheard of. So we've put together this is why I can't do the podcast tomorrow. We're recording this on Monday. Is we've got a really nice set of songs lined up for this thing. But come to find out that they're putting some other band in between the emo band and us. And we play 3 to 4. I believe the other band is playing like 5:30 to 6:30, and then the emo cover band that's covering Jimmy Eat World and Fall Out Boy and all these, they do a good job. They're not playing till later, and they're gonna have like this outdoor bonfire, and it's like, oh great, yeah, we'll just kick things off when people are just like not interested in hearing music. That's how it always goes for us. It's so frustrating. Those are the gigs that we get because, I mean, if any of you listeners have listened to our band, like we're a good band. It's wildly infuriating, actually. But on the flip side, in March, we're doing a 2-day run with a group called Twist and Writhe out of Hanover, Pennsylvania. And then there's also, they're bringing some friends from Baltimore, I believe, called Over Your Eyes, and we're playing with them at the West Side Bowl in March on a Friday, which is this awesome bowling alley in Youngstown, Ohio. And then we're gonna play the following Saturday at this place called Philly on the Rocks in Erie. So we're doing a little run with these guys. They're pretty cool. They seem nice. They reached out to us, and we're like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, we'll do it. So that's kind of all the news for me, really. It's mainly just personal life shit and music shit, but we do have listeners that ask about the band stuff every once in a while, so that's kind of where it's at. We're working on new songs right now, One Up by Land, and they're coming along pretty good. But all that to say that we do have listener feedback today. And Jake, last episode, you had brought up your budding interest in non-alcoholic beers. And we have a new listener, unless they change their username, and it's someone who's written the show before. But thanks for writing in. This comes from Duke McAwesome. And Duke writes in, he says, hey, I've been really enjoying Athletic Brewing's non-alcoholic beers for several years now. It's become my go-to post-yard mowing reward. And it says, Witt's Peak is my favorite, but I've always been a wheat beer and stout guy. Never got into IPAs. My local grocery store has started selling it too. They still make you use the special checkout in card. and card you as if you're buying beer. That's hilarious. And then it says the store told me the only difference in the rules is there's no limit on the amount you can buy at one time. I also found non-alcoholic Blue Moon at the store, which is nice. I've tried an NA gin, but it didn't scratch the gin and tonic itch. And then they also commented on our discussion regarding Scream, and this dude says, Duke McAwesome says, Matthew Lillard is my all-time favorite actor. Hackers, SLC Punk, Skate TV, he really was everywhere and seems to have steady work to this day. Thanks for writing in, Duke McAwesome. Jake, what do you have to say about this?
So it's funny that. So first of all, Witspeak is one of the beers. I don't know who this is, but I appreciate the write-in. Witspeak is one of the beers that I have right now, and it is pretty good. And I'm in the same boat as him. Like, I'm not real big on the IPAs either, and it seems a lot of the NA beers that are more crafty are like IPAs because the way that they make NA beers, I was reading all about it. The way they make NA beers, it's hard to get that like body and flavor, like malty flavor because of the way that they remove the alcohol and stuff. But one thing that does stick around and stay through is the hops. So it's easier to make an IPA, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, Witspeak, it's good, and I can understand why you would like the NA Blue Moon if you like the Witspeak. I haven't had the NA Blue Moon, but I also heard that it is very good, so I would like to give it a try at some point. And yeah, dude, the NA liquor, I don't know how you do it without the, like, as part of the experience, especially for me being a whiskey drinker, part of the experience is the burn. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like, obviously it can be negative, but like the way that it attacks your senses is very important to the experience. And I've seen like where they try to simulate that with like hot pepper and stuff like that, and it's just it's not the same. It's a very shallow burn rather than more of like a deep full. It's really hard to kind of. I'm not going to get into it because I could nerd out over this weird shit all day, really. But that's really cool. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks. I mean, obviously, I'm not the only one because especially NA beers, but especially Athletic is blowing up. And it's funny he was talking about the being carded. I got carded at the last concert I went to for buying an NA beer. And I was like, why are you carding me? And I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was genuinely curious. And they're like, well, technically, it's like could have as much as 0.5% alcohol in it. So legally, we still have to card you for it. And I'm like, so I guess like underage kids still can't buy NA beer, which
you can't provide NA beer to kids.
Which is interesting. I mean, but maybe I wonder if there's more of like a behavioral element to it where it's like you don't want to just let kids drink non-alcoholic beer because then they get into beer. You know what I mean? Like there's like that would be like almost the perfect definition of a gateway drug, where it's like what if like, you know, the soda that you drink all of the time, like as soon as you turn 21, you just buy a different version of it and it gets you fucking wasted. Like I don't know. It's pretty interesting concept, but I think it has more to do with maybe there being still the possibility of alcohol in it, yada yada. I don't know, but it is very strange. It's annoying that I can't just like go buy it. But
yeah, well, what I understand also to that point is that if you're a retailer, maybe it's not a state law that you card for it, but maybe they just don't want to have their employees know the difference between NA beer and regular beer. They're just like, if it's beer, just card them, you know?
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be.
So,
because I remember when I was a kid and I used to work at Giant Eagle, we had O'Doul's and it was literally just on the shelf with the soda, and you could just buy it at the checkout. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's sold at the distributor. Yeah. It's like you say, where you just have to card for everything if you're shopping here. Yeah. And I don't know. It's an interesting.
Well,
thing
the optics also aren't good because a lot of those containers look like beer cans. So, like, if you see a kid like a 6-year-old kid walking out with non-alcoholic beer, there's a good chance that like DEA is gonna get sent out or whatever they're called, Drug and Alcohol Task Force. What's that place called? What are they called? Drug Enforcement. Is it DEA? Is it DEA? What's the Drug and Alcohol Task Force called?
ATF.
ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Anyways, shows how well I'm connected.
So Google says, I just Googled, why do they card for non-alcoholic beer? Google Gemini says they card for non-alcoholic beer because despite having little to no alcohol, it can still be a gateway to alcoholic beverages, tastes and looks similar, and often contains a small amount of alcohol, up to 0.5% ABV, that triggers state laws.
All right.
Carding is also used to simplify and enforce regulations for retailers preventing accidental sales of alcoholic beer. So it's kind of like what I said and what you said, according to Google Gemini, which is often wrong. So there you have it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I was talking about Arc Raiders a little bit earlier, and we had another write-in. Big Box writes in to YouTube, and he says, Fred, I put 26 hours into Arc Raiders Server Slam. It was 3 days. I'm not 15 years old on Christmas vacation anymore. Holy expletive. Jake, one of the Embark developers this week, said the Arc Raiders quests will never force player versus player on players, and they want to make the game fun for player versus enemy players. I think they're going to let you kit out your character with a bunch of different recon and escape abilities so that you can more effectively avoid PvP combat. I'm curious if Fred can see this being viable, and would you have any interest in playing it like a difficult, slower-paced stealth game? Cheers, Big Box. Big Box, thanks for writing in. I'll chime in and let Jake respond also. I think that, call me crazy, and I know PvP is a big aspect of the Server Slam, at least. That's the only thing I played. And I lost about 9 out of 10 run-ins I had with other people, and I still to this day I still don't know how many people are getting loaded into a map for the PvP. They don't even make it clear. There's like no way to track like kill death or anything like that. You just don't know. So like I wonder how many people are sitting on that map. But I'll say this. I think that possibly based on the trailer that just dropped today for the game, the release trailer, it almost seems like some of these big bad guys that you're going to encounter are going to be near impossible to do with your team of like 3. So I have a suspicion that like the difficulty of this game is going to make a lot of players pivot into being more friendly, at least for the player versus enemy battles. So that might look interesting because, like, I don't know, man. I think you can probably kit yourself out as well as possible, but it's still not going to be an easy game without the help of your squad mates or even running into some other people that you can maybe party up with. That might be part of the appeal to this, actually. So the extraction being really against the enemies. And one thing that I thought was really interesting is, like, some of these extraction zones, the way when I played Division, one of the things that they would do is the other players would just camp at the extraction, and you go to extract and you just get lit up and you lose everything every time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that's really nice about Arc Raiders is that the AI or the Arc or the enemy, because they're in the sky, if you're approaching a base that or an extraction point, and those things aren't firing off on other people, then you know no one else is there. Because, like, they're always going to engage for the most part when you're trying to extract. So if anyone's trying to extract or camping waiting for you to extract, those Arc enemies are going to probably light those people up. And you're going to see it. And then that'll hopefully be, number one, a big enough distraction that you might still be able to extract just fine. Or number two, you can just be like, fuck this, I'm going somewhere else. So it's kind of interesting the way it's set up. So I think that there's a lot of intentional design in this game to make it as fair as possible. And I do think that playing it like a slow-paced stealth game is exactly how I would like to play it. That's kind of how I did it on the Service Slam. I wasn't going out I was trying to avoid all conflict and just loot shit and get out. That was it every single time. I wasn't trying to rob other people. Some of the missions require you to take out the enemy AI for their parts and scavenge those and bring them back to the base or Sparaz or whatever it's called. But I think for the most part, man, I think Embark's doing a really cool job on this. And based on everything I've seen on the subreddit for this game, like, people are just gonna have to hand the reins over to the developer, let them see their vision, and if it starts sucking for some reason, then maybe, hold them a little bit accountable and have them try to change some stuff. But we got more Arc Raiders news later in the show. But Jake, I'll let you chime in on this. What do you think about this?
So first of all, just to save you, the E in PvE is environment, not enemies.
Oh, whatever. Sure, thanks.
But so when Big Box says, one of the Embark developers this week has said that Arc Raiders Quest will never force PvP on players, blah blah blah. My understanding, and you're going to have to tell me how this game works, because I'm not going to get into it until someone gives me the fucking deep dive as far as, like, am I even going to enjoy this? I'm not paying all this money for a game that I'm going to hate.
$40. I can't believe it's so cheap. Go ahead.
But, like, I know in Tarkov and stuff, which is, like, the biggest extraction shooter right now, quests are, like, things that you do within a drop, let's say. So, like, you go into a game, there are quests that you can do within that game, but then outside of the quests, you still have to extract. So, is it similar here, where it's like, oh, I drop into a game of Arc Raiders, I complete these quests, and yeah, maybe I don't have to fight other people during these quests, but I still gotta fucking extract where dudes can gank me on the way out.
Yeah, you do, but
and it's like...
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's... And I'm not saying that I am impervious to the charms of this game, but it's got a lot going against it for me in terms of what it is, because to me, the gameplay sounds cool, the environment sounds cool, like the aesthetics, the art, everything. It seems awesome, the way that you play the game, but I very rarely have a really fun experience personally when my experience can be in any way tampered with by other human beings. And because, like, to me, it's like an immersive thing where I'm like in this game and I'm playing it. And it's one thing if, like, you and I are dropping in and we're doing this thing together and we're talking and we're doing this thing. Mm-hmm. It's another thing where it's like, oh, we just fucking sweated this mission out and did all this crap that was really hard and it was this really cool experience. And then some fucking rando snipes me and steals all this shit that I just spent all this time fucking around to get. And then it's like I hate the crux of it is that I hate wasting my time. And I know that to most people that is not what this symbolizes. But to me it's like, oh, I just wasted all of this fucking time because that happened.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. And it's probably ties into like it's probably ties into like my whole feelings with like Souls-like games, where it's like those games are so hard. When I fight a boss and I've spent like 5 days, like this boss in Lies of P that I spent so much time on. It's like when I spent like 5 days trying to beat this fucking boss, when I finally beat him, I'm not satisfied. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, you've talked about
I'm just like,
this
oh, I just wasted 5 fucking days fighting this boss. And so like, you know, when people like, it's like when people play esports, they get really sweaty and they're like, oh yeah, we won the game. And it's like, I get that way a little bit more playing something like hockey. But that's not what I'm into video games for. I'm not into video games for that like man-on-man action, as it were. And so it's very tough for me. That doesn't mean that I don't get drawn in occasionally. Like I said, I played the beta for Battlefield 6. I really liked it. Just running around fucking, you know, enjoying the experience of it. But I know for a fact that I would fall off of that really quickly if it was something that I had purchased it and I'm playing it full time. So, but I am the way that this game is being received, the way that it looks, the way that it acts, the way that it smells and everything. It's like I am open to people telling me everything that's great about it and trying to convince me that I should spend $40 on it. I am much more likely to wait until like a Black Friday sale. Maybe I get it for $20 and then I can jump in and play. You know, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. $40 isn't that expensive. It's not like I don't think I would be wasting my money spending $40 on it.
Right.
But am I going to peel myself off of Ghost of Yotei for this? No, I'm definitely not going to. Because that's a game that I can enjoy and immerse myself with and experience at my own pace, and nothing is going to, you know, detract from that, I guess. I don't know. So, yes and no.
Well, what I was going to say to you real quick, I appreciate your stance on it, but what I was going to say is there are some missions, some quests, so to speak, as you put them, where it's like, oh, go... The area is getting a little too cluttered with arcs. Your quest is to go take out 5 arcs. I played that mission, and I took out 2 my first journey to topside, made it back safe, went back, and took 3 of them out, but died before I extracted. I still got credit for taking them out, and I got the quest completion. So there are, as long as the quest doesn't... I'm speaking loosely here, but as long as the quest doesn't require you to return something back to Speranza, whatever the hell it was called, I believe you'll get credit for it. If it's just like take out this bad guy or take out this boss, but if it's like, hey, we need like 7 wire and like 9 batteries, then you're gonna have to go fucking get them and bring them back. You know what I mean? There are fetch quests, which is a lot of the game, but you're also getting that stuff for yourself, for your own gear and stuff. So the one thing that I forgot to bring up last episode with this game, if you do pick up something that's like super epic or rare or whatever, you might get more than one eventually, depending on how you're kitted out, but you start off with 1 pouch that you can put any item you find in it, and it's called your safe pouch that you get to keep if you die. So they've got some creative ideas, and they're doing some things that maybe don't feel like they're wasting your time as much. And dude, I'm just blown away by everything about this game. I didn't love, if I'm being transparent, I didn't love the inventory menu. It felt like, you know, like sometimes you have a PC game and then you're trying to like use it on a PlayStation. It's just
where it's made for a mouse. And, and it's like, yeah.
But you're not using a mouse. I don't remember it. Maybe you are. I can't remember if it's like you're moving like a reticule or something to select stuff. But it felt like it needed a little bit of an overhaul for console. But
that mouse cursor in fucking console games drives me bananas. Destiny started that.
Doesn't it feel so cheap?
Oh, it's fucking awful. I hate it. And I think that the games have kind of gotten the hint. In the last few years, we haven't seen it quite so much. Mm-hmm. But for a while there, it was like a virus.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
But anyway, yeah, Arc Raiders, dude, I mean, I know I'm, talking a lot of shit here, I guess. But, like, I am, being honest, I'm 100% open to this game. Yeah. I just am really nervous about, like, having to protect the gear that I want to save and not lose and all this stuff. Like, you have to develop, to me, it's almost like I would have to develop a mindset that this gear is not permanent and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, and there's like a good like grind cycle where it's like, even if I lose this shit, I'm just gonna get something that I like the next time we play.
They
like
give you a free They give you a free loadout. So if you're short on material or supplies, or you've just lost cool shit, they give you the option to go topside with like a default loadout. Now you may not have the most ammo, or you may not have like the best weapons, but they're not you don't go up there without any, like, just empty. They don't let that happen.
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna give you some default crap no matter what. But like, it's just I guess I'd have to experience it, because I'd be a little bit okay with like losing my shit if it was kind of more like a arcadey kind of experience where, it's like, that's fine, but like the next time I jump in here, I'm gonna find something that I like just as much. And so, but if it's like, it took me 50 fucking runs to find this gun, and I'd lose it because I died and I didn't put it in my fucking ball sack or whatever the hell it is, then that's what's gonna trigger that thing in me where it's just like, I'm done playing this game.
Yeah, I think. Dude, I don't know. I hear you. I just think that there are some items. I don't know that you're gonna go topside and just find a rad gun. You're gonna find some basic guns and stuff. I'm sure maybe you get some good drops, but like, I think the majority of the weapons and the upgrades are all done through crafting from the stuff you scavenge from topside, and then you get to go back to the base and like do whatever, to make whatever you think you want to make, or upgrade your workbench and come up with cooler shit. So, but I don't know. Anyways, we did have one more write-in. Ryan from Australia wrote in on our Patreon. I really appreciate his message. Thanks, Ryan. He said, just a quick check-in. Hey, from Australia. Fred, you seemed a little off for a while. Is everything all right? Granted, I'm just some dude who listens from the other side of the world, but I can hear the difference. Hope things are as well as they can be. Appreciate you both. Yeah, dude, everything's fine. I'm just really run down. I've been running on empty. I feel like there's no time in my life right now. So I've got so much shit going on, and I apologize if that's coming through on the podcast. But I did write Ryan back, and I do appreciate the listeners who care. And I did write him, and I asked him if he's played Arc Raiders or anything like that, Battlefield 6 or anything like that. He said just Battlefield 6 for him. The campaign felt a little bit for me at the start, but around halfway it takes a bit of a turn. I'm digging it. Haven't jumped into the multiplayer yet. And then he said they also have a PlayStation show. We should have Ryan on at some point to co-host for a guest show. That'd be fun. Get an Aussie.
He's in Australia. That'd be quite the fucking time gap.
Yeah, dude. I'm not staying up or whatever. Yeah, I'm not doing it at 2 in the morning.
Stay up at freaking, I guess it's probably I think it's like 12 hours from here to there.
And their seasons are different than ours too, I think.
Yeah, they're upside down.
They're just getting through winter, coming into spring, and we're getting ready to go into spring or into winter. But he did say that they had a similar issue with their show last week. There wasn't really a whole lot to talk about except for the Horizon lawsuit. So yeah, that is a thing that podcasters go through, and there's not a whole lot of news or whatever. And I can't remember, and I apologize, Ryan, I can't remember the name of your show. If you were to write it, I'd gladly tell the audience to check it out if they're looking for different PlayStation material. I listened for quite a while, and I just haven't had time to listen to podcasts, so I don't listen to any podcasts right now. It's ridiculous. I've been listening to audiobooks. But we'll get into games that we're playing. And like Ryan, I'm playing Battlefield 6. I have gotten a little further into the campaign. When the campaign really slaps, as the kids will say? Dude, it's when you turn off all the HUD shit.
Yeah.
Turn off all the HUD. Turn off all the enemy indicators. Turn off all the ammo count shit. And just play it with no HUD. It's fucking fun. It's like, wow, this is like where it's at. And the problem is I disabled all that shit to play the campaign. And then I went into multiplayer. And I had no indicators for enemies, good guys, and it was just like, what the fuck? Something's different. And I was like, I got to put all that shit back on.
It's weird that they don't let you differentiate between multiplayer and single player for those settings.
Yeah, I know they don't. So there's some issues with Battlefield 6. I still think my favorite one was the World War I Battlefield. That was the most fun. We could ride fucking horses and like the one-shot guns, the rifles that had one bullet in them, and you had to reload. It's just insane.
Battlefield 1 was incredible, and I think the game before that, as far as campaigns go, that was the best was probably Battlefield 3 on PS3.
Yeah.
That one was really good too. And then, you know, before that, like, it was all multiplayer stuff. But,
One of the coolest... Yeah, go ahead. What's that?
Nothing.
All right. One of the coolest things about Battlefield when you start these matches, the big escalation matches, some of the other versions of Battlefield, like, they'd start, like, your team would be, like, drop shooting in, right? Like, you'd look around, you'd all be coming down in a fucking parachute. Like, you just got dropped off the airplane, and that's how the match starts, right? That's wild. And like, I remember in Battlefield 1, there was one, I believe, where, like, it would start similar for everybody, but you'd be, like, in the back of a fucking, or in a tank, or in some sort of weird machine, and then they'd, like, rap on the door, and then you jump out, and you're there with your squad, and you're ready to go. Like, that shit's cool. All they have in Battlefield 6 for the intro for these multiplayer maps that I've seen so far is just like you're just like in a group of your guys, and some of them are like motioning with their hands like let's go. But I like the more cinematic drop-ins for these big, large-scale battles. They don't have that in Battlefield 6.
Dude, they have Battlefield. One of the things, honestly, one of the coolest things about Battlefield to me, and this is so stupid, is it has a sick fucking theme song. And the fact that it's like stuck through all, like that was the theme from Battlefield 1942, the first game. And they've kept it. And they know how when they do these fucking trailers, they know how to get you when it's like all this music that you don't recognize, and then they just slap that fucking percussion in there.
Yeah.
And it gives you the chills. I love it.
Yeah, that's a company doing it right and knowing their brand, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking rad. That's such a good point. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it does get you charged. But anyways, I uploaded a video of me teabagging a couple people, and I sent it to LJ and Jake. It's one of the funniest ways to kill a guy. Like, you got to realize, Battlefield 6 is probably the fastest-paced Battlefield game I've played yet. For as many people that shit on other people for playing it like Call of Duty, what other option do we have sometimes? Like, it's just, you spawn, you're dead. You spawn, you're dead. You spawn on a squad mate, you're dead. You spawn at the regular spawning point, and you're running to the objective, and you're dead. And you're just like spawning again, running, you're dead. You're throwing smoke and you're hiding behind it. You go prone, it's like you're dead. And it's like, fuck! Like, this is one of the most fastest paced Battlefield games I've ever played. For hands down. Like, it's just like, it feels like Call of Duty and it shouldn't. So in that regard, and I'll also say the balancing for the helicopter sucks. I finally got the controls tweaked on the helicopter, and I got it how I needed to get it. And the only way I could figure out to do it was people made custom servers. And they were just like flight training, and there's just all these fucking spawning helicopters. You can go into these and just learn to fucking fly. And everybody's trying to shoot each other and shit. But there's always like that one asshole that's trying to crash the helicopter into people trying to get into helicopters because he thinks it's funny and you just want to murder them. So like that was happening. Dude, it's just like so frustrating. But back to the videos that I posted, I'm trying to unlock the second support tier. I have to do 200 revives with the defibrillator. And so I'm not even equipping the gun. I'm just running around like this, looking for dead guys. And you're just trying to, I'm trying to get 200 of them. It doesn't even sound fun. But it makes them for some really crazy moments where like the walls are exploding around me and I'm like dodge sliding through like little portals and like of like stone and finding guys and hitting them like a skateboarder, you know, with a defibrillator. And then like instantly they die right away anyways, because the guy who just killed them is just watching, waiting for that to happen, right? He's waiting for someone to go revive him so he can kill you both. So it's always just, it's pointless sometimes. But anyways, you can kill enemies with the defibrillator, which is hilarious. And I have 2 quick kills. I've only done it twice, and I just stitched them together. and there's a guy in the trench, and I snuck up behind him, and I was like, and he like shocked, and he went down. And then the other guy, I was running around like a madman, and he was like shooting out of this window, and then he must have heard me. He turned around, and then I went, so like it was just so funny because he had enough time he could have shot me because my reaction time is so bad. But and then of course you have to teabag him when you kill him with the defib. It's just you have to because it's such an embarrassing way to go. But you have to add fuel to the fire. But anyways, that's me, man. I'm still in Battlefield 6. I'm leveling up. I think I'm level 32, 33 now. I've got hours into that game, and it's nice because I can play it when I'm able, and then just jump right back out. And that's half the reason I haven't gotten back to Banishers. But Jake, what about you? What are you playing?
Nothing new here. Just playing whatever the fuck I'm playing. Ghost of Yotei. Dude, still absolutely loving it. I don't know. My brother must like it too, because he was like, I really like Ghost of Tsushima and blah 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 blah. He's like, but I might give it a try. And then like, what felt like a couple days later, he's like, I'm 25 hours into this game and I haven't hardly gotten very far in it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck, man? How the hell do you got? Are you like? I've been playing it a week longer than him, and I'm only 30 hours into the game.
Yeah,
but a big problem for me with this game, and I'm wondering if things will change, if I might kind of start streamlining it. But like, I get to an area and I'm just like, I think it's just because it jives with the weather currently, where I'm just like sitting on the couch and I'm just enjoying just riding my horse around and just doing all the shit that I come across, like cutting the bamboo things to like upgrade my spirit, or finding the hot springs, or even like the enemy encampments. It's really cool doing like trying to do all of like the stealth shit and trying to kill everybody with like one of the cool things is like when you start the game, you can't assassinate you can't stealth kill brutes, which are like the heavy bad guys, and you can't stealth kill like the bounty characters or the like the commanders for the outposts.
Okay.
But you can upgrade your character that allows you to do that. And so like your character, everyone calls her the Onryo, which is like a almost like a demon spirit kind of thing. And so like part of your abilities allow you to like cause the enemies to be afraid of you. And one of the things that you could do is you can unlock the ability eventually to assassinate commanders and bounties.
Okay.
And so if you sneak up on them, you do this thing where you like come up behind them and you just pull out your katana and just fucking chop their head off, and it just goes like bouncing away, and like everyone gets afraid that's nearby.
Yeah, they just freak out.
And it's like, there's just so many like cool little things about it, like the way that the animations work, and it's really cool. I will say I'm completely shocked by the fact that I'm still playing this game in 30 frames. Multiple times I've gone through and I'm like, okay, there's a lot of foliage here, a lot of sunlight. I'm going to switch back and forth between the modes. Me personally, with my television, cannot tell the difference between quality and performance mode. Someone like you on your larger TV and your Sony X900 or whatever the fuck it is, you'd probably be able to tell the difference. But for me, I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah.
But for some reason for me, with this game specifically, that higher frame rate when I'm playing the game makes it feel almost like, rather than being this super cinematic, immersive experience, it makes it feel more like a soap opera almost. Like, you remember when they did The Hobbit in 48 frames a second? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And everyone was complaining about seeing it in the theater and it looked like a soap opera and everything looked fake because of the high frame rate. That's what it feels like. Like when I go from the 30 frames a second to the 60 frames in this beautiful, like cinematic camera and all this shit, like that's what it feels like to me. Even though 100% agree, it doesn't control as well in 30 frames. It just doesn't. It controls better in 60 frames. But I just can't stop like playing it in this like cinematic way.
Yeah.
Something about it is just jiving with me. So, anywho, I'm not gonna go any further about it. I'm gonna probably still be playing this game for another couple weeks, I'm guessing, unless I get some time to really hunker down on it. So, but yeah, still really enjoying it.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. Happy to hear it. Well, let's get into some gaming news. Every episode we talk about some new stuff that hits on PlayStation the past week. And there, Sony's made some acquisitions somewhat recently. Good ones, bad ones. But their CEO says that the company isn't planning any major buyouts right now. There were some rumors spiraling about PlayStation maybe acquiring Warner Brothers or stuff like Batman or Mortal Kombat or whatever. Apparently, that's not on the table right now, or so they say. So I don't have any opinions on this. I think that I kind of subscribe to get while the getting's good, but keep your cards close to your chest. And maybe they got some stuff in the works, and maybe they're working on something, but they don't want to come right out and say it. I mean, crap, we don't even know half the games that they're planning on putting out, with their own studios. So they've been really keeping things pretty tight-lipped. So who knows?
Yeah, I wonder, it would be kind of interesting, I suppose, for them to go off after these larger franchises like Batman or Mortal Kombat let's not forget, WB also has Hogwarts Legacy, which is even bigger than both of those fucking franchises. And it only has one game. Yeah. So, and they have like all like the Nick All-Star Brawl and all that kind of shit, Discovery and all that crap. But like Game of Thrones, yada yada. But some of this stuff I guess I get, but Warner owns DC, right? Or maybe like they're associated with it because of the Batman shit, and they did the Justice League game, the Justice League game, Suicide Squad. They were gonna do the Wonder Woman game. I think they got canceled. So Sony, why would they want that? They've got Marvel. I mean, I guess they could lock down the superhero segment and be like, we've got DC and fucking Marvel. Yeah, but why?
Yeah, I mean, know, man.
It'd probably cost them so much money, and I don't know that they really need that. Like, the only thing that they probably might even want from WB is, like I said, maybe like a Hogwarts Legacy, and that is going to cost so much money that I don't know that they really care. They're more than happy to just sell it and get 30% off of it on their store when WB releases it. So I don't know. It's especially after this huge acquisition. Like, these would be huge acquisitions. You're talking about like kind of Bungie level stuff, and it's like we all know how Bungie blew up in their fucking face. So why would they put themselves at risk again, acquiring a wounded franchise like Batman or something? Mortal Kombat's maybe a little more stable because it has, I'm not going to say it's the biggest thing in the world, but its releases are consistently successful. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe if they got like Rocksteady for a song or something like that, it might be worth having them. But they just lost like $400 million or some shit on fucking or $200 million or something on Kill the Justice League. So it's like, I don't know, how attractive is that really? Mm-hmm. So, but maybe they could buy the IP and use it, not the studios or anything like that. But I don't know that Warner Brothers would necessarily be interested in not selling everything. So, yeah, I don't necessarily know that it really works out for Sony. So this kind of makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to Arc Raiders real quick. It's coming out on the 30th. And I don't know that my experience with Arc Raiders is one that a lot of people would echo. But on a TwitchCon interview last week, the director went out and said that they're looking at this as a 10-year game. And, so they're confirmed this is being developed with long-term support in mind. And it's actually being designed to carry over into the PS6 era, which is interesting. But looking at the Push Square article and looking at the comments, there are a lot of people just being like, yeah, I've tried to avoid getting the live service games like this. There are a few who are like, yeah, I pre-ordered it right away. And then some people were just like, yeah, I don't know. I had my phone with Destiny 2. The last thing I want is another 10-year game. Someone else is like, all due respect. There's many who are going to love this game. It's just way too boring for me and passive. I tried the Service Lamp thinking I was going to love this game day one, but it just isn't for me. I don't like the sound of that. 10 years, empires rise and fall in that time frame. So a lot of people were kind of like, this game's going to die. But, dude, I fucking hope not, because everything about this game is awesome, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. To me, you couldn't have a better aesthetic, and it feels good, and it looks good, and it plays good. And that's all that really matters to me. And some people are like, dude, the beta was only 10% of the content that's coming out when it releases. It's going to have a really, really long life. I don't know. Some people are like, I don't know. What do you think?
So here's what I have to say. They have just cursed themselves to failure by saying that they are intending to develop this game across a 10-year lifespan. Destiny did not come out and say, my game is going to exist for fucking 15 years. It was a good game, and so it exists for 15 years. They were able to keep players engaged. Mm-hmm. How many times has this happened in the past where studios come out and they've got this new live service game and they're like, before the game even launches, they're like, yeah, we got this fucking roadmap. It's going to be the first 5 years, we're going to have these things. And then the next 5 years, we're going to have these things. And on the next fucking console, it's going to do this, that, and whatever. And it's like, how many of those games actually made it past the first year or two, let alone made it to 10? And the answer is none of them, to be honest with you.
Right.
Pretty much none of them, with the exception of, and actually the ones that have succeeded, I don't think any of them have come out and been like, this is my fucking 15-year plan. They're all just like, we made a game, this is kind of what we want to do with it, and it's good, and it just begets itself over and over and over again until it has lasted 10 years. So you think games like Grand Theft Auto Online, you think of games like Rainbow Six Siege, you think of games like Destiny. These games, they maybe internally had these targets and goals and dreams and everything of how long it's going to last. But they didn't come out and put it on a fucking billboard and say, your next 10-year fucking commitment. And
yeah.
And like what you're talking about with the comments, that's the other side of it. It's just like, that's a turnoff for some people. Some people don't want to start a new game thinking it's going to cost them 10 years of their life.
Yeah, right.
And if that might be something that people don't really want to deal with. So, yeah, I mean, do I think that Arc Raiders is a bad game? Probably not. Do I think it's going to be a failure? Probably not. Do I think it's going to last 10 years? That's a dubious statement. I don't know that it's going to last 10 years. Dude, people are so on and off the fucking train these days that it would be a miracle. I hope
10 years is such a long time.
Dude, it's so long. We're talking about 10 years from now. I'd be
55 years old playing Arc Raiders still.
Dude, like, 10 years from now, we would be like getting ready for the fucking PS7.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like, I don't know, man.
Warframe's still going,
not to say that it can't happen. What's that?
Warframe's still going.
Yeah, it's still quietly successful. I think so. But again, these games, they didn't, before launch, come out and say, we've got a 10-year plan for this fucking game. They were just like, here's a cool game we got. We're going to support it going forward. We've got some ideas. And then they just kind of like grow it and grow it and grow it. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, I'm sure there are scenarios where I'm wrong and everybody can kind of call me stupid and blah, blah, blah. But I think that if what you're saying about what was said is true to form, then this is like a big counting your chickens before they hatch kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this market is very volatile with these types of games. So people can say that they love Arc Raiders, but that doesn't mean they're going to love Arc Raiders 2 years from now. So when the next big... Dude, this game's going to release. I'm going to tell you, this is a little just premonition of mine. This game's going to release. It's going to be fucking huge. People are going to love it. Arc Raiders, blast, love it. Same thing with like Battlefield 6. Blast, love it.
Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Grand Theft Auto 6 online is going to come out, and all of these games are going to see a huge depreciation in player base.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Is it going to kill them? I don't know if it's going to kill them, but you can imagine these guys would be idiots to not expect their player count to decrease by half when GTA Online comes out.
Well, that and to say if they are taking the free-to-play approach with Arc Raiders, it's not a free-to-play game, so it's still got a barrier of entry of $40. So I don't know, dude. I'm not even into these kind of games per se, but it's really got me interested. It's just something about the aesthetic, dude.
I will agree. It is one of the most interesting looking live service games that I have ever seen. I hope for the best for this game. It's kind of like how I felt whenever Rainbow Six Siege came out. Because that idea of like the siege tactics and the breaching and all that stuff was very novel at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that and be like I know that first kind of gameplay thing where it was like the squad and it was all staged. Mm-hmm. But like it was like an eye-opening like, whoa, this is pretty fucking cool. And then it slowly became this huge fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I think that this game has the potential to be that but the thing is that like they're not the only game in town with extraction shooters. If Tarkov was on console, I think that it would be the Fortnite of extraction shooters. But it's not. So, and heaven forbid, and it might already exist, but heaven forbid the Fortnite put out a really impressive extraction mode. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, you're talking about, we're battling giants at this point. So I think what's going to save Arc Raiders is its aesthetic. It's kind of like homegrown kind of attitude. And
it's quirky.
And its quirkiness. And so I think that it has a future. It doesn't have I don't think it has a future like a Destiny or a maybe closer to like a Destiny, but definitely not like a Grand Theft Auto or like a Fortnite or anything like that. But it might be able to carve a niche out for itself where it's successful for a long time. But 10 years is asking a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I agree with you. Well, I've minimized our notes, Jake, because I was looking through and some of the notes I had on here from last week. So we've got the main news point, which we'll visit last. So we're going to skip news point 3. We're going to go to 4, which is next-gen transition games. So devs are already planning projects that bridge PS5 and PS6. Battlefield 6 Arc Raiders designed to last into the next gen. I don't know how I feel about needing a game that does that. I remember when they did this with the PS3 and the PS4. The PS4 to PS5 wasn't really as big as the PS3 to PS4 was kind of a thing where it was like, oh, if you have the digital copy or if you have the disc copy, you can pay $10 more to play it on your PS5 or PS4 or whatever. You put the disc in. I don't even know, man.
I think it was a free upgrade, dude. Because I'm pretty sure
somewhere, not all of them.
I think the only game I did this with was Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Yeah. I bought the PS3 version, and you could stick the disc in your PS4, and it would download the digital version of Black Flag
for the PS4.
But for PS4, but you had to have the PS3 disc in your console for it to start playing. It's a weird thing. God. Obviously, PS4 to PS5 is like a non-issue because they're backwards compatible and everything. And PS5 to PS6 is going to be the same way. So we're only a couple years out from PS6, so there's no reason to believe that this is not happening. And what you're saying here definitely makes it seem like that's for sure true.
Yeah. So anyways, that's just a little news point. And then one more news about Battlefield. They have a following in the footsteps of Call of Duty's Warzone. Battlefield 6 is going to have a free-to-play Battle Royale mode, which I believe is launching tomorrow, the 28th. And it's going to be called RedSec, REDSEC, which is a terrible name. I hate it. I don't know what it means. It must mean something. But we'll see how that goes. Will this help the sale of Battlefield 6? And it's going to be probably a completely brand new download, which is going to be a pain in the ass if I want to try it. I don't know. I got no opinion on it. This seems a little too soon. But, I'd rather have it now.
People are really into Battlefield, so maybe this would be a thing that was like people that didn't want to pay for Battlefield, or just be like, oh well, I can still get them in the Battlefield game, system by giving them this free to play thing. But dude, Delta Force, the free to play game, just came out a couple months ago, is like a free to play version of Battlefield. They have like these conquest style maps and shit like that. And it's not a battle royale. Like, I don't understand why all these free-to-play shits have to be battle royale. Imagine if Battlefield had a free-to-play conquest mode.
Yeah.
Dude, it would be unbelievable. I feel like they would like...
And they just sold weapon packs and shit and like skins and...
Yeah, you could sell that kind of stuff. Or maybe like it's like, okay, here's the free-to-play conquest mode, but you only get like 3 maps or something, or maybe it's smaller battles, like it's conquest, but it's only like 32 players. It's not fucking 64 or whatever the hell it is. And maybe there's no destruction in the environment. It's like you could find ways to pare it down to make it to sell the upgrade. Mm-hmm. But it's like it would be rad. Like it's like why does the free to play thing have to be the fucking battle royale? It's like make the free to play thing like if not conquest, maybe like one of these other modes that they're doing, like the one where like the one where you're pushing the barrier back and forth between the two sides. Like you could make that the free to play mode. That would be like an interesting new kind of concept. But like battle royale, okay. I guess another battle royale game, cool. Throw it on the pile, but maybe it'll be really successful. I mean, it's going to be a great game probably because it's Battlefield and it's EA.
Dude, what if they did? What if they did an inverted battle royale where like the space is like really tight and you spawn like 100 people, and then as it slowly pushes out, you got to run and get cover, and then it turns in every match.
The game gets like less and less exciting as it goes on.
Well, no, it'll be more intense because you would know right out of the gate if you had an opportunity to win the fucker. So like, and then it's like you got to go find the sniper weapon, right? You gotta look all over while you're getting chased with a dude with a pistol, and you're trying to find the sniper weapon to get him from far away. Like that would be awesome. Like an inverted battle royale.
I do love the idea of like there being a mode where it's like a 64 player map.
Yeah.
But it's like
all crammed.
It's like 100 square feet. And you just say go, and
once you're dead, you're dead, right.
And the match is over in like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that would be that would be a really cool mode. Like it would be so chaotic. Maybe give everyone like fucking like full machine guns.
Yeah.
And it's just like or like rocket launchers and shit. And just be like, this would be, it would almost be like a zombies kind of, like originally what zombies was, not whatever the horseshit is now that they do with zombies, but like the original game where it's just kind of like a gimmick, like a joke, but it became this really cool thing. It's like, imagine if they did a Battlefield mode like that, where it's like, we're famous for 64 player battles.
Yeah, right.
Now we're going to do those battles in a closet. It's just like, they just drop everybody in a short fucking map and it's just like, go ham.
Yeah.
And it would be, I think that's a really fucking fun.
It'd be
that would be
fun.
A cool. It'd be a funny fucking thing.
Dude,
it would make.
I just imagine like all the live streamers and shit like dropping instantly dying immediately.
And stuff. It would be so cool. It would be so
Everyone
cool.
would have a tactic of like going prone or jumping or sliding left or like, you know what I mean? But like, it'd be insane.
It would be really neat.
And then the map gets bigger though. But what if it gets a little bigger, right? As people die. And the size of the map is contingent on the number of people remaining, not a timer.
Like, oh, that would be kind of cool. So it's like 64 people drop into this like living room, right? And they're just blowing the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And then the like 16 people that are left at the end.
Watch what you say.
What's that?
They said you were blowing the shit of each other or something you said. It was so funny.
Sorry. So like the last 16 people that are left or something like that. It turns into more of a conventional competitive multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, it starts off as this like chaotic event that kind of creates the teams creates the roster.
It's like survival of the fittest, right? Yeah.
It would be really cool. Like, I love the idea. Like, someone make that like a mod for Battlefield.
And all
6.
the bodies so cool. And all the players who die, their bodies stay in the map, right? So like as the map gets bigger, you're like trekking through and you see where it all started. There's just bodies littered everywhere.
And you should have the ability to like lay down and play dead. Like, how cool would that be? Like, you can like lay down amongst the dead bodies and just like pop up and murder each other. It would almost be like an Among Us kind of thing. And dude, I think we were onto something here. That would be a fucking awesome cool. That would be an awesome. I'd tune in for that. I probably wouldn't like playing it, but I would love to watch that. I think it would be so much fun.
It would have to be free to play. No one's gonna pay money to lose every time they spawn into a map. But it would be hilarious. Call it like sardine mode or something.
Yeah, it would be rad.
All right. Well, I'm glad we came up with a cool idea together. All right. So if you steal that idea, Jake and I are owed a kickback. Just so you know, you heard it here first. It's timestamped.
$1 for every person killed.
Yeah, exactly. So Xbox, Jake, is continuing to blur the lines between platforms. They're bringing more of their games to PlayStation. This is kind of interesting. We've talked about this before on the show. This is clearly signaling a shift towards shared gaming ecosystems. So Microsoft has just recently confirmed Halo is making its long-awaited debut on the PlayStation with the remake of the original game's campaign. This is going to be Halo Campaign Evolved. This is coming in 2026 to PS5. And this remake, or 2026, yeah, that's what I said, PS5, yeah. So the remake is going to focus on the single-player story and co-op, but won't include the classic multiplayer at launch. Developers are saying that it's a new era for this franchise. Future Halo titles will also be available on PlayStation, signaling a shift away from Xbox exclusivity. And the redesign is taking advantage of Unreal Engine 5, and they're actually giving us prequel missions, new ones, updated visuals, weapon changes, and improved level design, all built around making the experience both familiar and fresh. If done right, this is going to be awesome. I've never played a Halo game, dude.
Dude, I'm curious what you will think of it. I'm so excited for this. I know that it's got a little bit of like the UE5 stink on it. But dude, I fucking love the first Halo game. Halo 2 is great, Halo 3 is great, all the other shit it's fine. But I have a very special place in my heart for the first Halo game because when I was in high school, this game came out and it was like one of, if not the first game that really popularized the idea of console LAN parties. So like all of the people that were within even like my extended circle of friends in high school would get together, and it wasn't just like nerdy PC kids. It was like the kids on the football team and shit like that. Like we'd all go to someone's house and across like multiple rooms on like 4 TVs, and every TV has an Xbox with 4 people playing split screen, and everyone is kind of playing against each other. And we would just have these Halo parties, and it was so much fun. And the campaign was something that just really struck a chord with me in terms of it was just like, it was the game that really made console first-person shooters a viable thing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there were games before it, like Medal of Honor, Red Faction, stuff like that. I love those games too. But, dude, that first time playing Halo, and like once you get the controls down and stuff, like, it really did change everything. And like we were talking about earlier with like the Battlefield theme, dude, the fucking, some of the music in Halo, like that main Halo theme, and like the map that they show in this the mission that they show in this kind of reveal for Campaign Evolved is called the Silent Cartographer. And that fucking thing where you're flying into the island, like it's one of the most iconic like moments in like first person shooter video game kind of history. And just like the music when you get on the Warthog and it's like ba 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 ba, and it's dude, it's gives me chills just thinking about it. And I'm really excited to see. I will admit, I don't have a ton of faith in their ability to release a product that's not a buggy fucking mess. Mm-hmm. But especially on Unreal Engine 5, which for whatever reason happens to run like shit on everything. I don't know what that's about. And I'm not sure that I will 100% love the changes that they've made to it, but I am really excited to play this game, and to play it on a PlayStation will be super weird. And I hope that if you have any interest, you pick it up and give it a go, because I'm really curious, like you specifically, because we've talked about games together for so long. I'm really curious, as someone who's never played a Halo game and has never experienced it. You've heard about this game for 25 years. What is your reaction going to be to playing it for the first time? It's kind of like, like you played Dead Space for the first time not that long ago, right?
Yeah, we talked about it.
And you really liked it, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
you really liked it?
Yeah, it was good.
But there is always this element of like overhype. Right? Everyone's like, oh, Halo is this thing. You get overhyped, and then you get into it, and you're like, I don't understand what people see about this. There are other games that do these things better, and blah, 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 blah. And maybe there's a little bit of like, you had to have been there to it. But one thing that like the Halo games play really well. Like they like you imagine the shooting in Destiny. Like it feels really good. That's like one of the things that's really great about it. And there's just something just super nostalgic about it for me. And like seeing this reveal, I'm like, man, I want to jump back into playing Halo. I canceled my Game Pass subscription, so I can't. But like, I'm just like, I'm really, really excited for it, and I'm really kind of freaked out about it being on PlayStation. But I'm excited at the same time because I kind of want to play it on my PlayStation, not my Xbox. But yeah, I don't know if you have any excitement for this or any desire to play it, but I'm pretty thrilled about it, personally.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm interested for sure. I just, while you were talking, I was looking at some screenshots from the original Halo game, and man, it looks rough now. But I do remember that weird gun with like the digital readout. I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
somewhere.
The assault rifle. Yeah, it had it had the ammo counter like on the gun, which was very novel for the time.
Yeah, but it looks like it'll be just fine. I don't. Are they doing like? Is this a complete overhaul of Halo, or is it?
I think it might be more of a ground up remake from using Unreal Engine 5. I'm not saying there won't be any code of the original Halo underneath, but I think it's a little bit more than just a coat of paint.
Yeah. I would hope so for my sake. And I probably will.
And the fact that they're doing three prequel missions, I'm really curious about. I'm cautiously optimistic because I don't necessarily have faith that they're going to be able to make missions that tie into this classic game super well. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that it's good. And what's kind of interesting, like, dude, when you looked at this game, if you look at like some of the trailers, there's like and you see some of the screenshots, you can kind of see the classic like Ring world, like Ring, where one of the coolest things about this game is that when you're on the map at any point in time, you could look up and you could see the fucking ring just kind of circling up into the distance around you. And that was so interesting and unique for the time. And
what is the ring?
So Halo, the Halo is like, it's like a giant ring in space that has basically a world on the inner side of it. Okay. And so like you crash land onto it, and it's like, it looks like Earth almost, where there's all this, you know, topology, but you're literally on a ring floating in space that this environment happens to be like made onto. And there's a whole story surrounding like the existence of these rings and why they exist and blah 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 blah. But it's like a man-made structure. I say man in quotes because humans didn't make it, but you understand what I mean. But I actually just got done reading the 1970 sci-fi classic Ringworld by Larry Niven. And after I got done reading it, like right after I got done reading it, this trailer dropped. And I was like, oh man, like it just makes me think of it. And like, dude, this game had to have, like, I never even put two and two together, but this game had to have been influenced by that novel. Just by like the concepts in it and everything. And it's really cool. I mean, everyone could probably tell I'm excited about it, and I am. So hopefully it, like, my guess is that they'll probably push it maybe to the end of 2026 to kind of coincide a little bit more with the 25th anniversary in like November or whatever. But I'm stoked about this. I hope it comes out like in fucking January, to be honest with you. But I know that's not going to be the case. So
yeah.
But yeah, I hope you're excited too. I mean, I wouldn't pressure you to play it if you don't want to, but I would be curious as to what your opinions of this game would be as an outsider.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll get to it. Yeah, 2026. We'll do it. I'll let you know. I'm excited. I mean, I feel an obligation to play at least Halo.
Yeah.
As a gamer. All right. Well, that about wraps it up for the show. We're not going to talk about new games coming out this week. We covered them all last episode. Tune into the tail end of episode 397 if you want to hear about games coming out. We know Arc Raiders is dropping on the 30th. The new free, whatever it's called, Battle Royale for Battlefield is going to be 28th. We're recording this on Monday, the 27th. And we air every Wednesday for all of our listeners. And I have noticed a spike in listening to the podcast when I look at Acast, which is the service that we use to get our episodes out to your preferred streaming platforms. So please keep tuning in each and every week. Jake and I will continue trying to do this as long as we possibly can. And the more listener feedback and interactions we get from you guys, the more likely we are to keep this fucking ship floating. So we like having a community. That was kind of the whole purpose of this initial podcast, was Jake and I are the only two dudes in our circle that play games for the most part. And we just want to chat about games and find some like-minded people who are adults, or trying to be adults at least. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Jake, you have anything for anybody else?
No, I don't think so. I am good.
Good. All right. Well, like Bloodborne, Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden, and Battlefield 2042. P.S. This is awesome.
Yes, this is awesome.